Assalamualaikum and good afternoon.
Waalaikumsalam, sir.
Afternoon, Doctor.
All right. Okay, to all the Muslim, we begin by reciting the Al-Fatiha and the Salawat. Okay, ada Syamimi ada Syamimi? Huh? Syamimi ada dalam kelas tak? Syamimi apa nama ni? Because some of you did WhatsApp me that they cannot attend the class due to flooding, due to flooding in Kuantan, in Pahang, in Selangor. Alright, so dia kata tak dapat datang tapi tengok macam dah punch, dia punya nama dah apa, dah ada attendance. Wait, Nur Syamimi ada? Nur Syamimi. Huh? Tak apalah. Okay. We have been getting news from our friends in Selangor and Pahang that there is a very big flood happening in those states. Never before the flood is that size, so that magnitude. So hopefully everybody is well. Even some of my students, I think, affected from Pahang and Selangor. Take care, okay? Take precautions, and remember, there's nothing much we can do if we got this kind of disaster. Just bersabar, patience, and just accept it, and do whatever you can to save whatever you can save of your material, and the most important thing is save your family, lah. So SOP, jaga SOP kan. Takut nanti bila duduk ramai-ramai kan SOP tak jaga, masalah pula. Right, so inshallah, hopefully everything is easy, got made easy to you, So we continue with our class. So we have finished talking about bunker. So we continue to the next chapter. Yeah. Okay, we go for IMO first, So maritime institution and organizations. The most important organizations, international organization, that affecting maritime shipping, right? Maritime shipping is IMO, International Maritime Organization. That is international level. Other international level organization that affected ataupun have an effect on maritime activities is ILO, International Labour Organizations, whereby it's about focusing on the labor ni, the crews of the ships, right? The crews, like some they call it mariners, some they call it what sailor, nama mariners, uh, seamen. Some call seamen, right? Some call sailor, right? So this is about the human resource of the ship, the ships, the ships. That falls under ILO. And the other thing is that the activities of shipping, the result of shipping, that is trade. Trade. So, as you all know, shipping contributes maritime shipping contributes nearly 70 to 90% of the trade. So that one, the United Nations Commission on Trade and Development, UNTAC. That one is all three international bodies that related to maritime. The most 100% related is IMO lah. Others there's some percentage, not all related, but there's a component of maritime there. All right. So we go for the most important international organization in the world for maritime is IMO. This is international level of organizations, controlling bodies. For domestic ataupun national level, there's many affecting maritime. Like before, you invited from the Association of Shipbuilders, right? That one is locally related to maritime. Association of Ship Owners, right? That one also related. Apa? All the Jawatan Laut Malaysia, that one is the controlling bodies in Malaysia, and the authorities that that monitoring the shipping activities other than Jabatan Laut is the uh, uh, APMM APMM angkatan apa nama kan yang APMM the coastal guard, they call it coastal guard in English, but in Malay is APM, agensi penguasaan apa nama maritime kan, APM agensi penguasaan maritime Malaysia. That one is the authorities controlling bodies other than Jabatan Laut, two controlling bodies, right? So yang lain tu persatuan-persatuan association that related to maritime in Malaysia. Setakat ni yang tertahu is Association of Shipbuilders, and also Association of Ship Owners. Right, so that's about it. But we are more concerned in the syllabus is the international level of organizations. Right. Okay, there are large number of international organizations directly or indirectly connected to the business of shipping. Right. So you must remember there's two parts here. Right. One is shipping activities. Shipping, the nature of shipping activities, meaning that it's about navigations, it's about procedures, it's about monitoring regulated regulations on shipping. The other part is about business, the result of shipping, though, right? So that involve documentation, everything, dealing with customs and everything. Okay. So IMO focusing more on the technical aspects of maritime. That is the what they call it, the activities, technical activities of a ships, ship activities, navigations, like handling cargo, type of cargo, right? Scheduling and how, and then bunkering, pollution control, uh, ship design, ship construction, and that one is under IMO. But for business, mostly is under UNTAC. UNTAC. Some of the IMO requirement ataupun convention is also involve the crew. IMO basically is about focusing on the technical aspects, technical activities of a ship, right? From navigational to the shipbuilding, right? Some of them are intergovernmental, but by far majority of them are in the private sector, right? Intergovernmental ni yang belong to United Nations, right? United Nations punya organisation is IMO lah, right? Some are private but international, like associations of, for example, analoginya example like the airlines, AITA. AITA is private international aviation, uh, uh, transport, apa nama dengan AITA, tapi belong to airlines. All the members is all the airlines. ICAO, yes, under what? Under international bodies, UN. AITA is private because the ownership, the members is all companies, airline companies. But shipping also the same. IMO is on the United Nations intergovernmental, but other than that, like apa the what Baltic Exchange, everything kan, that one is private nah, but internationally, international private entity. Apa the other term is manasbah, like for brokers, for broker for chartering. That one also private. Yang intergovernmental only one, I think. For IMO is what IMO itself, because under United Nations, and UNTAC and ILO. Okay, that's about it. Some of the important and influential are included below and can be categorized into few categories. These are the categories of associations ataupun entities, organization that involve with ships. First category is ship owners organization, right? This one is not intergovernmental, but it's more like private members. One is International Chamber of Shipping, ICS, Intercargo, Intertanko, Baltic in BIMCO, Baltic International Maritime Council, BIMCO, and World Shipping Council, right? So these are some of the owners organizations, meaning that the members is owner of the ship. Brokers and agents organizations for brokerage of shipping activities. These are the Institute of Chartered Ship Brokers, the Baltic Exchange, the Federation of Ponasba, the Federation of National Association of Ship Brokers and Agents, and FIATA. Tadi kita ada AITA kan, ni FIATA for shipping. The International Federation of Forwarding Agents Association. So these are the international bodies on related to shipping, but members are private, private companies, and brokers and agents, right? Usually brokers and agents referring to tram business, tram operations, right? Then comes the UN, UN intergovernmental punya bodies. First of all is IMO. Second, UNTAC, Trade and Development, UNTAC. Third is Maritime Law Institute. International Maritime Law Institute. The fourth one is International Labour Organizations. All these are intergovernmental, United Nations organizations that are related to shipping, right? So when you talk about organization in shipping industry, right, there's many categories. One is belong to the ship owners, members, private. Second, belong to the agents and brokers, also private. Third one is intergovernmental members, that is UN, right? UN level. And other bodies that related to shipping is Chamber of Commerce, International Chamber of Commerce, International Maritime Bureau, IMB, IMB Piracy Reporting Center, the Corporation of Lloyd's of London, Lloyd's agents. Lloyd ni usually refer to maritime lah. Talking about Lloyd's ni initially dia sebuah bank di England, a very big bank, Bank of Lloyd's, London. So they cover also not only shipping industries, they cover shipping insurance, everything. As you all know, shipping for risk management for a ship is very costly, so very expensive. And talk about risk management, risk ni about insurance lah, right? So they need to have a big banks to support it, right? Like Sumitomo Bank, right, in Japan, right? So these are the banks that involved in maritime insurance. So the other one is International Association of Classification Societies, IACS. The International Transport Workers, this one refer to the labor, related to ILO. World Trade Organizations, right, WTO. International Association of Maritime Economists, IME. The International Association of Ports and Harbors, IAPH. So there's many bodies, international bodies that are involving in maritime, right? Many, it's a lot. Okay. If I assign you per group to do a study or write up on this organization, that will be a good assignment for you all to do, right? You explore one by one group each, right? Okay. And also for your information, under Antec usually produce report, trade and development report yearly. And in the report, they have a special report on maritime shipping, maritime report, Antec. And every year they have it. It's also a good assignment if I can assign you to do a review of the report. A review of the report. Each group 1 year, right? So a review of report, that's why I remember I asked you, do you know how to do a reviewing article or report? Remember I asked you, right? So it's very interesting actually to review an Antec report on maritime because there's many information inside there. And by right, Antec report on maritime is not so thick, not so what so many things to check. It's not much, but I think I'll combine these two to have to be your the second assignment. All right. You do a review of the Antec report. I will assign the years to you. You download the report from the internet and you review it. Secondly, is you do details of the write up on the organizations involving in maritime. There's many organizations, so be prepared about the second assignment. That's about that. So once I assign, because each group have different focus, different organizations, different years of Antec report. So need to assign you to the based on years for the report and also based on the organizations for the maritime organizations. Okay, now we go deeper. After the introduction, whereby you observe the nature of the organizations involving maritime, that I told just now is the organization covers two aspects. One is technical activities of the ship. Second is three aspects. Second is about the crew. The third aspect is about the operation of the ships. Operation of the ships. It's about business now. The operation is business now. Because shipping is a business, it's a trading, it's a business. So that also they have a special organization to handle the operations, to monitor the organization, to help the members on the operation. Okay, for technical aspect, that one is to make the players, the carriers, the owner of the ship, to provide them a clear regulation and a clear SOP how to man the ship, from building the ship, designing the ship, construct the ships, and navigate the ships and operate the ship. Everything is in IMO. And the effect of the ships, what technical impact of the ships, technical impact like pollution lah, right? So everything is under IMO. But for operation is under organization that reflect the operation lah, whereby the members is the ship owner, the members is the brokers, right? Or ship builders. That is the what the private organizations related to maritime. Same also like for crews, crew, they have ILO. Even some part of IMO, they have mentioned about the crew, the training of the crew, right? They have a convention on that also. Crew must be well trained and well educated on technical aspect of the carrier, the ship, and the technical aspect of manning the ships and navigation. So these are the things. So we focus on IMO because 100% reflecting the technical aspect of the carrier, the ship. So the IMO was established in 1948 as a specialized agency of the United Nations. Established, you remember 1948, kita bawa lepas apa? The world is just facing what situation in 1948? Siapa tahu? Dunia masa 1948 sedang menghadapi apa? Who knows? Anybody knows? Class checking time. Who is sleeping? Huh?
Don't know, sir.
Don't know. Siapa cakap don't know tu? Tanya. Actually, Iqbal lah jawab kan. Tapi Iqbal not sure. Dia question mark kan. Alright. So, I need to cancel the sharing because I cannot read the chat when I share. So when I stop the sharing, then I can see the chatting. So it's Second World War. Actually, we are at the end of Second World War, 1948, right? Right. As usual, when we are in the midst of ending something big, something very dreadful for the world, for example, a war or a pandemic, right? The world it seems like to start a new life, right? The world seems like to start a new life, post-pandemic or post-war. Okay, and post-war is very important. When talking about Second World War, post-war is very important. They have great impact on the economy and also on the social development, socio-economy development of the most of the country. Right. For example, in US is the major player of World War II, other than Germany and also Japan. Right. So US is the leader of the what they call it. Uh, 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 Pasukan pasukan perikatan yang menentang pencerobohan Jerman and Japan, right? Jerman in Europe, Japan in Asia. Okay, is Asia. So America is the big is the man is the country that lead the war, combining with UK, combining with France, and combining with certain degree Russia to fight with German, right? German is very aggressively conquering all the countries in the world in Europe regions. And then Japan also a strong country that time, attacking many countries in Asia. Example, China, Manchuria. They attack Korea. They attack Philippines. They attack Malaysia. They attack Singapore, right? Thailand they attack. Indonesia also, part of Indonesia they attack. So so they are the superpowers of Asia lah. But even that, America also will be the leader that lead the confrontations the confront the Japanese army, right? Dulu dipanggil apa? The Japanese emperor. Dulu orang Jepun dulu very respectful to the emperor. Kan, emperor ni macam Tuhan dah bagi dia orang kan. Apa-apa buat mesti kena jadi. Tak jadi dipancung dia sendiri kan. Dibunuh dia sendiri kan. Harakiri. Dibunuh dia sendiri. Kalau gagal. Kan, punya dahsyat emperor tu kan. And then because of that also there exists, you remember the kamikaze punya team, because of the emperor asked them to for the sake of the emperor of Japan, so they willing to do kamikaze, right? Kamikaze attack really make the American pening. Dia macam very, what do you call it, what confused why they do like this and killing themselves. But only a moment the American have this kind of thoughts, then they overcome it by preparing for the kamikaze, right? Overcome the kamikaze. So America is a big country that lead the war in Europe and also they lead the war in Asia. And the amount of I want to tell you this, the effect of the socio-economic development on the post-war or the post-pandemic, or the post impact to the world. So they have many armies, millions of people in America being urged to join the army to avoid America being attacked. Actually, America is smart. They attack and not at their land. They fight at people's land. America fight at people's land, not their land. So those days during World War II, American land is not being affected. American people stay in the country happily, no affecting by war. But they fight at other countries' land in Europe, in Asia, right? Okay, why they do that? What is the strategy doing that? The strategy is preemptive attack to avoid preemptive attack, meaning that to avoid German and Japan reach their waters. If they don't be stopped at other people's place, okay, one day the German can attack, can come to US to attack the country. To avoid that, they go and defend their country at other people's country. That is the strategy. So that during World War II, America won't be affected. Okay, people in America live happily and they work hard to replenish all the requirements and supply of the military around the world because that time they're fighting in Europe and also in Japan. So the army is millions. They recruit army. So millions of people, army, America is in Europe and also in Asia. What happened if when the war is finished and the war is end? This army come back to America. Come back to America to live as usual, and the impact is great to the economy, to the trade, right? Because these people coming back, and they want to make a living, right? So they get married and then they make a living. They need houses, right? They need food. So from that time, not only in America but mostly Americans, I mean, most countries in the world are going but try to recover from the impact of war. So they have many. They are creating more businesses, more demand for food, for everything. So slowly the process of trade increase. Uh, First of all, maybe within the countries and then internationally. That's why in 1948 they see the need to establish an authority to guide and monitor the shipping activities because those time, due to demand increase, economic increase, supply and demand increase, so they need more shipping activities. And when they do that, they think that they need to control and international bodies to control the shipping activities. So they form They form IMO under United Nations. Understand Okay? Understand? Abid? Where's Abid?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
You understand?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who is 275350? There's no name. You better put your name, 275350 siapa? Siapa nama 275350? Anybody? Nanti saya check lah participant ni attendant lah 275350. So I will withdraw your attendance. Ni jawapannya tak jawab ni.
Yes, sir.
Siapa? What's your name?
Ain, sir, Ain.
Ain.
Ya,
Ain tak bawa nama Ain.
sebab saya guna phone Ain.
Uh,
Phone saya tak boleh pakai.
tak apa. Terbaik yang jawab. Ain saya kenal lah Ain kan. You all should know Ain also kan. The president of Lord Trend. Okay. So we continue class. Saya tak panggil nama pun I will check. Ashila. Ada Ashila.
Yes, sir.
Awak ni Sarawak Ashila?
Sorry?
You from Sarawak ke?
Sabah.
Sabah. Good. And then Chow Yu Yao.
Hello, sir.
Good. You're around. Badriatul Syahira. Ada Badriatul Syahira?
Yes, sir.
Bukan awak kata banjir rumah?
Tak. Saya
Bukan,
line je yang problem.
line problem. Ya, line problem. Okay. Sekarang okey dah Sekarang dah okey dah kan? Dah masuk online tu?
Saya guna internet adik. Saya guna line adik.
Adik Saya dengar macam Abid kan? Terkejut je. Macam Abid.
Tak. Line my sister tak ada kat sini.
Blackout ke? Because some of you say at the blackout kan, due to what? Due to the flood. Alright, Muhammad Azri. Ada Muhammad Azri? Muhammad Azri tak ada Washini.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just calling your name to ensure you're around. I must do it occasionally, so that to ensure that you alert. Kalau saya cakap sampai habis kan, tiba-tiba masa habis pun awak pun tak keluar lagi kan. Tandanya awak lari daripada awak just join the group and then you go somewhere else. Selalunya mesti ada 3-4 orang. Saya perasan bila tengok semua dah keluar kan, dah left, dia mesti tak left. Maksudnya dia selama ni dalam kelas dia lari lah kan. Dia lambat datang balik, pergi lambat left lah. So don't do that. You come, you join to learn, you learn. Don't abuse the platform online. Online platform is better, it's good because you don't need to come to the class, you can stay at home, you can learn. But you must be very honest to yourself lah in learning kan. Kalau kelas tu kita nampak muka awak kan, tak datang kosong. Ni online ni is up to you lah. You dah punch pun, you dah scan pun, you boleh lagi juga, betul tak? Kalau boleh, stay and learn. Don't betray the trust that your parents are giving you and betray the trust that I give you. Betraying. Right? Betraying is something that is not good. How do you feel if somebody betray you? Right? Ada orang mengkhianati awak, kan? Apa rasa? Tiny, apa rasa?
Sakit, sir. Sakit.
Oh, tu very deep tu sakit tu kan. Jangan betray orang jangan betray mak ayah awak. Kalau mak ayah tahu awak tak masuk kelas tapi awak tak dengar lecture kan, ataupun awak lari dekat kelas je, mesti dia marah. Okay, mesti dia marah. Kan, kalau saya pun, anak saya pun belajar UM. Kalau saya tahu dia main-main memang kena kan. So with due respect honor your parents. If not me, your parents lah. Okay. Alright. So why? That's the reason why IMO was established in 1948. Because to cater the increment ataupun increased shipping activities in the world due to the post-war punya effect lah. Okay. In the process, IMO starts with the regulations of international shipping from safety, security, and environmental protection. Remember, I told you the technical aspect of the carrier. What it involves safety, security, and environmental protection. So these are the motto of IMO. Actually, later on I will show the motto. This is about it. It's about safety of the people and the cargo. It's about security of the people on the cargo on the ship, people and cargo, and security of the all three, and also the environmental protection point of view, meaning that not only safety of the ship, cargo, and crew, but also the safety of the environment. That is most important, right? Preserving the environment. I think I show you during the bunker class, the impact of the environment from the bunker or ship is great impact. You can see now the climate change effect of degradations of the environment. The impact of climate change is profound anywhere in the world. What is mean profound meaning that the impact is great, right? You can see downfalls of rain never before, right? The amount of rain coming down is increased higher and getting higher and higher. Sampai macam today you can see yesterday, tak pernah banjir boleh banjir kan. Sampai paras pinggang, paras leher. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Kuala Lumpur, apa nama ni, banjir, even with the proper irrigations and proper apa nama ni, planning of water flow, movement, everything, dengan smart tunnel, everything, cannot cope the water coming in. That is the impact of climate change, right? That is the seriousness of the impact of climate change. You can see the rainfall is rate is getting higher and higher. Right, so that's why IMO and many other organizations that I give you, I send you the link, whereby even aircraft also using sustainable fuel. What aircraft is not many cargo carried, right? Aircraft refer more on passenger, but for that matter also they need to be sustained. Even aircraft fuel already less pollution emission emitted as compared to ship, but still they need to use sustainable fuel to contribute to reduce the carbon footprint contributed by the air transport. By shipping, the pollutions that created by the emissions is greater. We need to really go for sustainable. That's why I was stressed on IMO 2020 to change the bunker. That's why there's coming the new design. But the problem is that when you have a new bunker, totally new bunker, not based on oil, like ethanol, like hydrogen, you need to change the engine, right? So that they can use ethanol or other green sources of bunker. And the latest one I show you is using traditional way, using the sail, but a new concept so of sailing ships. Quite interesting. That's why you need to be innovative and creative in order to save the world, save the planet for the future generations, right? So interesting. Even they're talking about hydrogen gas. Again, hydrogen gas, hydrogen balloon. Those days in 1940s, 1960s, 50s, one sort of transportation for air transport is not aircraft, is a hydrogen craft, big balloon, look like air balloon kan, tapi dia panjang, dia very what do you call it? Dia design tu macam bentuk dolphin lebih kurang kan, tapi flying. And they want to introduce back again the hydrogen aircraft. The design is a little bit different, more aerodynamic and because it's high tech. And even they use solar for shipping. Solar energy. So for solar, the whole deck of the ship they change to solar panel. The limitation is that the whole deck being changed to solar panel, but the cargo is under the deck, right? In the hull of the ships. Cannot put on the deck because the deck is full of solar panel. There's the design of innovative design of renewable sources of energy, right? The original name was the Intergovernmental Maritime Consultative Organizations, atau IMCO. The initial name of IMO is not IMO, it's IMCO, Intergovernmental Maritime Consultative Organization. But the name was changed to IMO in 1982. Right? It has 171 member states. The members of the IMO is the country. That's what they call it, intergovernmental. It's not individual, it's not company, country. 3 associate member states, some 400 staff, and a base is based in London, UK. Based in London, UK. During its existence, IMO has established a comprehensive body of international conventions supported by hundreds of recommendations governing every facet of the shipping industry. IMO produce conventions, international convention. Convention is like a protocol for dealing with certain matters of shipping. Macam MAPOL, Marine Pollution Protocol conventions, right? Before they go for convention, they introduce marine pollution protocols, and then they change to convention. When it's agreed upon by all the members, they change to conventions. Faham tak? Initially it's protocol, right? So to reach the convention stage, it takes many years, many studies, many reports to be dealt with, right? Then already been agreed upon by all members, by majority members, then they will inform a new conventions, right? They will form a new conventions. Now there's a lot of conventions. Nanti you tengok banyak convention. So the purpose of IMO, as summarized by Article 1A of the conventions, are, so this is the objective, objective of the IMO purpose lah. To provide machinery for corporations. Machinery ni bukan mesin, macam channel lah atau platform for cooperation among governments in the field of governmental regulations and practices relating to technical matters of all kinds affecting shipping engaged in international trade. You see, technical matters of shipping related to international trade, because logically is IMO kan, is international bodies, so international trade. Right. Second, to encourage and facilitate the general adoptions of the highest practical standards, practicable standards in matters concerning maritime safety, efficiency of navigation and prevention and control of maritime pollution from ships. See, safety, security, and control of environment. Secure, preserve the environment. Right, safety, efficiency, why you call it efficiency of navigation? Because efficiency navigation lead to safety of the ships, safety of the cargo, safety of the the crew, right? And prevention and control of marine pollutions. So it's applied on the ship itself, right? Apply on the ships, and also the procedures handling the ship, especially handling the cargo lah. Especially dangerous cargo lah, ataupun oil and gas, right? And other chemicals, right? All right, so it's about that. So the objective is very comprehensive on what? On the sea, the crew, the people, the environment, the ship, right? IMO's work aims at ensuring the life at sea are not put at risk, and that the environment is not polluted by shipping operations. So this is the motto lah, motto dia. Reflect back the objective lah, purpose dia kan. Safe, secure, efficient shipping on clean oceans. Safe, secure. Secure is covers many things, including security and efficient shipping on clean oceans. Even security is about the security of the crew, of the ship, of the cargo. Safety of the crew, of the ship, of the cargo. Security ni you were dealing with piracy. When you talk about sea, the most important enemy of the sea is people using the sea is the pirate. No pirate, piracy. So it happened. Don't think that pirate is in only in Pirates of the Caribbean kan, tak? Cerita movie kan, pirates exist. Exist. Not today, the way back before, right? When people start moving on the sea, using the sea as a trade and for commuting. So pirate is there, right? To obstruct your journey, to to seize your cargo, to seize your ships. Seize ni maksudnya menawan menawan right? So piracy in modern days also they have. So how they overcome it? That is they have a special convention, right? Area where area of piracy that is common in Strait of Malacca. Strait Malacca pun ada pirate, especially at the near to the open sea of Hindi Ocean. There's a lot of pirate attack. And then in the Yaman, near Yaman, Yaman punya Yaman country, whereby when the ships want to enter the Suez Canal, there's the area there, Yemen and Somalian country around there. So there's many pirates there. Even some situation that the ships need to be escorted by the army and by the navy, to escort the ship to avoid attack by the pirates. You must remember, usually big containers is very big. Big containers or big tanker or big bulk cargoes is very big and long. You cannot monitor what the attack from every angle, because your radar just only can trace a ship, and not the people. These people, they use small boats to attack the ships. By right, they cannot see the attackers. The attackers slightly climb the ships and attack the bridge, whereby they got the control center there at the bridge. They call it the bridge of the ship. When they got the bridge, they got the ship. And then you must remember also, for cargo ships, there's not many crews involved, right? The most is 20 to 30. Not many, so they can conquer anytime with arms, with machine guns, everything. That's why at certain stage, a certain area, for certain reason, the crew allowed to carry weapons, ammunition and weapon on the ship, or they carry together with them army personnel on the ships. So they observe any foreign boats that coming in the ship, they just fire at them, right, to that level. And then also, based on the conventions, there are many such ways that they suggest for the ship to install mechanism that will help to protect the ships from attack by pirates. For example, they use water, high pressure water. They use many methods now, and quite interesting. Some of them very effective, right? They try to avoid using ammunition, because that one will affect some killing of life. So they try to give to have a mechanism that will avoid the pirates to come near the ships. That's the thing. So piracy is important, and that affect the security of the cargo, the crew, and the ship itself. You can check many cases of pirates happen all the while. So these are the motto of IMO: safe, secure, and efficient shipping on clean oceans. Clean ocean is important, right? There's a video ataupun a documentary on how much plastic, how much waste that the ships been dumped in the ship in the oceans. How much waste? Waste. This is not come from the ship alone, but come from the rivers. As you all know, rivers end up in where? In the sea, right? All rivers in the world end up mostly in the sea. So from rivers, the waste come to the sea. Luckily, the sea is salt water. If the sea is fresh water, I think you cannot consume the sea anymore, right? Because full of waste. and with fresh water, you can damage pollute the water easily and still until to the level that cannot be used. Just imagine in Selangor, they get many disruptions of water supply in Selangor due to pollutions of rivers, right? Because fresh water easily polluted, right? But seawater, salt water is neutralize the pollution, right? And the waste that come from the rivers. But certain waste is neutralized, is been dissolved, but plastic cannot be dissolved. Plastics or whatever metal cannot be dissolved. So they will end up in the sea. Lastly, it will end up in the stomach of the birds and also all the fishes, right? So just imagine, if this thing did not make any effort to stop using plastics, to stop throwing in the rivers, it will end up at the sea, and the effect will be on the fish that you eat, on the fish, on the seafood that you eat. So it's very bad. So that's why IMO covers environment, but from the ship only. You must remember, waste also been thrown in the ship, been thrown in the ocean from the ship. You know, waste, sampah-sampah kan, sampah-sampah. Many cases, a lot of cases, ship throwing the waste in the sea. Benda ni berlaku. Then one documentary by Nat Geo, National Geographic, the documentary is about ship waste, not about oil spill whatever, but ship waste. Ship waste is it covers in two. One is engine oil waste, and the other one is waste made by the crew lah, kan? By supplying the crew with foods, everything kan. Faham tak? Yang engine waste tu minyak hitam. Engine oil that we use, they should be kept and dispose it at the port with certain procedure lah. Ataupun kan. But they want to cut costs, they want to cut corners, they lepas dalam laut. Kan? So it's very bad. Their waste also they throw in the sea. Where they do that? They do when they are in the middle of the sea. In the middle of big oceans like Hindi Ocean or Pacific Ocean or Atlantic Oceans, just throw. Nobody knows you. Nobody see you. In the middle of the sea, right? But they got the ship owner got caught because the crew itself, the crew that don't like these actions by the some other crews, they post it to the IMO and then all get caught and they got their penalty, and the penalty is not cheap. Okay, and they need to find back the waste and gather back as much as they can. So they throw away all the food waste, all the other waste made by the crew, right? They throw it away in the sea. Just imagine, if 600,000 ships to 6,000 ships that move in the world, in the ocean today, every day, do that. You can imagine the effect to the sea. But luckily, there's some crew that are very conscious of the environment, recorded it and report it to IMO, and they record. So you need to have this kind of attitude, concern about the environment. Although your friend may be not concerned, but you must concern. If they do something wrong, you should reprimand them not to do it. If they still insist to do it, just record and report to the authorities, right? Okay, now we go for the structure of IMO. IMO actually have 5 structure. First is assembly, and assembly is consists of all members lah to come for the assembly, persidangan, right? Then a council. During the assembly, they elected council members. Kalau you pernah berpersatuan kan, you had experience with forming an organization. Usually, every organization need to have, meaning that organization that consists of members lah. Bukan organization company kan, business no. Organization that consists of members that do some activities of non-profit activities ataupun profit, but actually refer to non-profit lah. So you have members to join the organizations, and you have an assembly. And during the assembly, they elected the council members. Who are the council members? Council members are the members that run the organizations, that run the day-to-day activities of the organizations. So to make the organization more functionable is the council members lah. If the council member is not working well, then the organization is not working well. All right. So these are the structure, and then the third one is committees. This committee is the advising capacity is advising the IMO, council members and IO members, guiding and advising them about certain technical things involving shipping. Right? The 5 main committees, there are many committees, many subcommittees, but the 5 main one is the Maritime Safety Committee, the Marine Environment Protection Committee, the Legal Committee. Legal Committee is new, new because due to Torrey Canyon oil spill case. Torrey Canyon, you type Torrey Canyon, Torey Canyon, you can see what is Torrey Canyon case of shipping, oil spill. The first, that time is the biggest at that time, but after that there's more bigger oil spill. But the first oil spill recorded, and because of that, they introduced legal committee. Why? You see, the impact of oil spill is great. Not only to the animal ataupun the fish and the organisms that living in the sea, but also impact the environmental and people that living at the coastal of the sea, right? The beaches and the hotels, the fishermen, right? Fishing industry affected, tourism industry affected. Why affected? Because the oil spill, they will end up at the beaches, right? It will end up at the coastal waters and then stuck at the beach, right? So the beaches become dirty. The beautiful stone near the beach, big boulder stone on the beach kan cantik kan, batu-batu besar ke batu tu cantik, habis been stuck with oil. And as I told you kan, the bunker for ship, even the crude oil is quite thick, dark and thick. So it was the environmental suffer. And if this thing is not being cleaned manually, it's not automatic. Cleaning the sea is done manually. You must scrape one by one. The beach, you must scrape part by part of the oil and throw it away. That is tedious work, right? And it takes long time. If it must be done comprehensively. It must be done diligently, so that everything, every oil stock must be cleared. If you don't do that, you do it just half-heartedly, and you just don't do it completely. The ONG, the stock, oil, the stock on the stone or on the beach, they won't go away. They will be there until years, 2 years, and years to come. To the extent until 30, 40 years. You see the impact, right? So it's very great. So what happened is that when it impact the fishes and the seafood and the microorganisms in the sea, nobody complain. The fish cannot complain, cannot talk to you, right? Cannot talk to the ship owner, cannot deal it. But the hotel owners, the fishing industries, the fishermen, right? The people that stay near the beach affected, they will do the claim about the cost that they are the suffering, the losses of business, the losses of income due not cannot go outside and fish. All right, that one is claimable. So and then the issue comes who they want to look for on the ship, on the disaster. Who want to be blamed and to be claimed on the cost. And that's why the IMO established legal committee to help the stakeholders that involved in in the disaster of shipping disaster to settle their claims. Not only on the part of people that suffer the losses, but also on the ship part, to helping them to uh, uh, make the whole process efficient, effective, and what do you call it? Uh, Achieve the goals, achieving the goals in terms of providing the compensations of the event, compensations of the costs that involved. So it makes the whole process easier and more appropriate to handle. So that's why they established legal committee. The other thing is technical cooperation committee, and the fifth one is facilitation committee. So the facilitation committee, there's many subcommittee. Even technical committee also they have many subcommittees. Technical committees and facilitation committees, there's a lot of subcommittee that focus on specific issues of maritime. This issue come out after usually an event happen. They introduce new things. That's why all the cases of accidents, all the cases of oil spill, all the cases of some disaster occasions, they need to be recorded well by MO, which involves shipping or ships. Why? Because they need to learn why is that happening, the reason why the disaster happened, the reason why the accident happened, the reason why the container collapsed, the container, what they call it, discharge unintendedly from the ship, right? This thing happened due to certain circumstances. So when this thing happened, they recorded the whole process, the whole data of the event. Then they study why. And then they introduce new things. That's why there's many technical report, many protocols and convention being introduced due to event happens. They learn through experience, indeed, right? They learn through experience, right? Macam awak lah, learn from the experience kan. Then you be a better person, right? From years to come, right? Because you learn from your lesson, right? You learn from your life. Same like AMO, they learn from the members' event, then they study and they introduce new things in the process. Okay. Any question until now? Any question? Understand? Okay. Oh, okay. So 349 and 359. So we stop here. Apa nama ni, on the detail of the structure, the assembly, the council members, the flight committee, the maritime safety committee. Right? Next week, and marine environmental protections, everything, and the subcommittee, legal committee, technical committee. These are the instruments. right? Protocols, amendment, recommendation, codes, guidelines, resolutions, right? So we continue next week on Sunday, and hopefully that time we clear on the assignment, right? So a brief explanation on the assignment on Sunday. I think like I told you before, just now, it's maybe two. You need to do two items, two in one lah. One is about reviewing the UNTAD report. I will give you the years what years actually your group need to focus, and also the organization's detail right up on the organization involved in maritime. All right. So, any question?
Sir, can you please share the attendee?
Who is this?
Abid, sir.
Why you always scan late?
Sir, I didn't start the QR code.
Why you always scan late? Mana ya? Amit. Amit.
Yes, Director.
Never mind,
Doctor.
I click for you.
Okay, Doctor. Okay.
Others? Siapa yang tak scan lagi? Tak ada Alright. Thank you very much. Take care.